All right, let's get right into it. Langchain, LangGraph, LangSmith. You've heard the names, you've probably seen the GitHub repos, but what is the actual difference? And more importantly, when should you be using each one? It can get pretty confusing, so today we are breaking it all down. No fluff, just the straight-up blueprint for building smarter, more robust AI applications. You know exactly how this goes, right? You start a new project. Maybe it's a simple RAG app. You've got your prompt, you've got your model, you've got your output parser. It's clean, it's beautiful, it just works. But then you think, hey, I should add a tool. And then you need some conversation memory. And then some if this then that logic. And bam, before you know it, your elegant little script looks like a plate of spaghetti code that's been thrown against a wall. We've all been there, and that chaos is the exact problem this whole ecosystem is built to solve. So let's start with the OG, the foundation of it all, LangChain. This is where you get the first real sense of order and structure for your AI chaos. Honestly, this analogy is just perfect. LangChain gives you all the essential, standardized pieces you could possibly need. You've got your prompts, models, retrievers, tools, memory. Every single one is a modular, swappable Lego brick. It brilliantly abstracts away all the messy, annoying differences between the APIs from OpenAI or Anthropic or Google and gives you one clean, consistent way to build. Now, the magic glue that sticks all these Lego bricks together is something called the LangChain expression language, or LCEL for short. This is the special syntax that lets you declaratively pipe your components together. So instead of writing a bunch of ugly imperative code to manually shuffle data from one step to the next, you just define the flow. And look how clean this is. You literally just write prompt, model, output parser. The data just flows from left to right. It's super readable, it's intuitive, and it hides a ton of complexity. But don't let that simplicity fool you, because what you get for free just by using this syntax is an absolute game changer. Yeah, just by using that pipe symbol, you get all of this out of the box. You want to stream tokens back to your user for that snappy, responsive chatbot feel? It's built in. Need to run things asynchronously or in big batches to make it performant? Already handled. LangChain will even analyze your chain and run parts that don't depend on each other in parallel. And, this is key, every single step is automatically traced in LangSmith, which we're going to get to in a minute. But first, what happens when a straight line just isn't enough? Okay, so LangChain is fantastic for these linear, predictable workflows. But let's be real, the interesting problems are rarely predictable, right? So let's level up. What if your app needs to try calling a tool, check if it worked, and if it didn't, loop back and try something else? What if it needs to make a decision and branch down one of two totally different paths? A simple A to B to C chain just can't handle that kind of dynamic logic. For that, you need a brain. And this is where LangGraph enters the chat. Let's go back to our analogy. If LangChain is that classic box of Legos, LangGraph is Lego Mindstorms. Now you're adding motors, sensors, and a programmable computer brick. You're not just building a static model anymore. You're building a stateful, intelligent agent that can actually orchestrate its own workflow. This slide just shows the huge architectural leap perfectly. LangChain is a straight line, a one-way street. But LangGraph, well, it's a graph. It's got nodes, which are your steps, and it's got edges, which define the flow. But here's the magic part. Those edges can be conditional. Your app can finish at node A, and then based on the result, it can decide for itself whether to go to node B or node C, or maybe even loop all the way back to the start. This is how you build truly autonomous agents. And the core concept that makes all of this work is state. Every single time a node in your graph runs, it gets the current state of the world, all the information gathered up to that point. It does its job, and then it updates that state, maybe adding new information. The next node in the chain then gets this richer, more complete picture. So, for example, an agent might first check the state for an order number. If it's there, it moves to the lookup order node. If not, it moves to the ask for order node. That's state in action, and it lets multiple tools and agents collaborate on a single, shared context. Okay, so you've built your masterpiece. It's a simple chain, or it's a complex, self-driving graph agent. It works. But now you've got a brand new problem. When it doesn't work, you have absolutely no idea why. You're flying completely blind. This is the observability problem, and it is an absolute killer for development speed. Your agent gives a weird answer. Why? Did it hallucinate? Did it call the wrong tool? Was the prompt just bad? Without visibility, you're just guessing. You're just tweaking prompts in the dark, hoping you stumble upon a fix. So let's complete our set of analogies. LangSmith is your diagnostic toolkit. It's not building the app like LangChain, and it's not orchestrating the logic like LangGraph. No, it's the observability layer that gives you X-ray vision into what your application is actually doing, step by step. It hooks into your system and gives you all the telemetry you need to debug, test, and optimize like a pro. And this is exactly why you need that insight. Think about your app as a chain with many links. Without a tool like LangSmith, you only know that the final output failed. But with it, you can see precisely which link in that chain broke. Was it a bad prompt, a hallucination, a tool that errored out? LangSmith pinpoints the failure, so you're not just wasting hours guessing. So, what does LangSmith actually give you? First, tracing. You can see every single prompt, every model response, every tool call with the exact latency and token counts for each step. It's incredible. Second, evaluation. You can create datasets to systematically test your app and make sure your new changes didn't secretly break something else. Third, monitoring for when you go to production. And here's the real kicker. It's framework agnostic. While it works flawlessly with LangChain, you can bolt this onto any LLM app you're building. Okay, we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get to the most important part, the when. Let's bring all three of these amazing tools together into one simple, actionable game plan. And here it is, side by side. LangChain solves the composition problem. It's your Lego bricks for building straightforward pipelines. LangGraph solves the orchestration problem. It's your Lego mindstorms for building complex, stateful agents that can think. And LangSmith solves the observability problem. It's your diagnostic kit for debugging and monitoring all of it. See, they're not competitors. They are layers of a complete modern AI stack. So here it is, your mental model, your decision flow chart. When you start a project, you ask one simple question: do I need complex loops, branching logic, or shared state between steps? If the answer is yes, you're reaching for LangGraph. If the answer is no, and your workflow is mostly a straight line, stick with the power and simplicity of LangChain. And the one non-negotiable rule: you use LangSmith for both, from the very first day of development. Seriously, don't even think about skipping. And there you have it. Composition with LangChain, orchestration with LangGraph, and observability with LangSmith. This is the blueprint for going from simple scripts to real production-grade AI systems. So the blueprint is yours, the tools are ready, the only question left is, what are you going to build?